So hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we're back with a monthly update on our website and all the Python strategies we run. So yeah, we're just going to go through them again, and then there's been an update to the website. Someone had a quick feature request, so I added that as well. But yeah, going through the four main strategies we run. So remember, the first one is quite simple. It's just stocks rank 1 or 2 at the start of every month. We scrape the whole website basically for all the stocks, and yeah, any stocks with the rank 1 or 2 we buy, and yeah, you evaluate it at the end of the month. So again, this is the performance of all the stocks. So again, this was earnings month for like all the stocks, so you can see we're super so volatile. So I mean, yeah, quite a lot of stocks here, and this is where the feature requests will actually be huge, as you'll see later. But you can see it started really well. Like, this is average per stock, by the way, so 6% in 1 month is crazy per stock. And then yeah, it's just so volatile due to earnings hovering around 1-2%, in the end 0% as well. But in the end, after all the stocks have been evaluated, we get 0.5% in a month, where the S&P has gone down by like 1.5%. So yeah, a great result. Again, just destroying the S&P, which is our benchmark, and that's the objective, always trying to beat it. And beating it by 2% when it's down as well is really good, especially during earnings season. So again, just showing the strength for this strategy. So simple as well. I mean, of course, the code to scrape is confidential, but if you have that code, you can do it manually, I guess, as well. But once you have that, it's been outperforming for over 2 years now. So yeah, super happy with that strategy. And then going over to the three newer strategies we have. I say newer, they've been running for quite a while now. But the first one is the earnings strategy. So how this works is before stock has earnings, we check for a few factors. So first of all, is their rank in 1 or 2? Always, that's like a staple of all our strategies. Is the Zacks rank 1 or 2? And remember, this is before earnings. And then the only other requirement it has to have is that the EPS percentage has to be bigger than 0. What is the EPS percentage? It means that the analysts tracking the stock think that it will be earnings. So I mean, quite a simple metric to track there. Again, everything's straight from Zacks. And so with those two metrics, all you have to do after is just make sure that the stock is actually having earnings, because sometimes Nasdaq API gives you the stock is posting earnings on this day, but we don't know if it's after or before market. So that means that they're not even sure that the earnings is actually happening. So yeah, you just make sure that the earnings is actually happening. So this is here, the date isn't equal to NA, and then yeah, you just check that it's between like the monthly period, right? Otherwise we'd be backlogging like all the stocks that have posted earnings in history. So we do this every month. So this is backlogged by 1 month, so it's between December the 15th and January the 15th for this one. And then yeah, these are all the stocks identified. And what's going to be really interesting is next month, guys, which is earnings season currently. Next month, because it's backtracked by 1 month, that will be where this strategy gets really tested, right? Because here, I mean, what even is this? Not even 10 stocks, right? Whereas during earnings season, I think it will be like close to 100. So small sample size here for this month, but when you run it, I mean, yeah, Micron just went crazy, 30% in a month, but averaging 4% per stock. Again, really good. The S&P, because this was 1 month before, it actually had a good return of like 2%, but still doubling the S&P's return there, pretty good. Then the dividends one, this one I actually don't employ. I employ the main strategy and the earnings one myself, but I track this one for the people who enjoy, I guess, a more passive strategy. So this is the dividends one. Again, kind of similar to earnings one. Is quite simple. It's called the X capture, I think, is what the actual strategy is called, like in literature, but it's quite simple. Before stock goes X, you buy it and then you sell it like 1 month later, hoping that the stock recovers its X yield. Because when the stock goes X, it drops by its dividend yield, and you're basically just hoping that over the rest of the month it goes back up. So that's the strategy explained basically. Again, quite simple. We always look at good stocks, so stock has to be Zacks rank 1 or 2. We also look at stocks with an okay dividend yield, like we don't care about tiny yields, so the dividend yield needs to be bigger than 2. And again, the rest is just literally dating, just making sure it's within that month that we're evaluating. These are all the stocks it came up with, so don't know much, if any, of these stocks. I know this is like Philip, I don't know, I just know some of the tickers, but no big stocks. I mean, yeah, you see the names here, so it's mostly bank corps, right? Those are the real ones that post like big dividends, hotel and resource one as well, more financial stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Those are all the stocks identified between, you can see December the 15th and January the 15th. And then evaluating the strategy, you can see dividend 2.42%. So I think it'd be the S&P, but marginally. And that's what you expect from this one, right? It's a passive one. You're basically just capturing the dividends. And again, this is without applying any tax. So if you do have tax in your country, then this strategy is probably not worth it. But you can see it's quite stable, right? I mean, some have big returns, some have tiny negative returns, but overall quite stable as you'd expect. And then the final strategy we run and I run as well as the earnings reversal one. So this one actually doesn't care about strong buy or to buy. It buys every stock which after earnings had a positive surprise percentage. And for now, we're not even looking at like if the stock dropped or not. If the stock beat earnings, we're just buying it after earnings. So strategy is kind of flawed. That's not what it's like in literature, but we have the groundwork to improve it in the future. Basically, what we're checking from the Nasdaq API whenever we run it is that after a stock has posted earnings, has it beat earnings? Basically, that's all we're looking at. And this is the line of code here. So the surprise percentage needs to be bigger than 0. And again, we're looking for that monthly start date and lag back by 1 month. So between December and January. And these are all the stocks it identified. So again, way more stocks because we're not being super exigent. We're not even looking at strong 1 and 2 buy from Zacks. We're looking at all the stocks to beat earnings. So again, Micron appearing again, just absolutely clutching for us. And yeah, this is 75 stocks. So guys, this is a big sample size, right? And yeah, look at the return. It's had 4% over a month for stocks that beat earnings. Like Micron just going crazy, as you can see here. It was like averaging 26% for the first 3 stocks. Of course, it tails down as like law of large numbers comes in and everything, but still really good returns, up to 8% at one point. And this is quite deep in, but again, sometimes when a stock beats earnings, there's overreaction and underreaction, but on average, clearly underreaction is winning, at least for this month, as averaging nearly 5% in a month is crazy, especially after earnings. If you're buying before earnings, okay, fair enough, there can be plus 10 and 20% movements, but buying after earnings, once the results are in, that is quite crazy. And yeah, so much room for this strategy to improve. So let's move over to the website now. So this is what it was like up until now. So Portfolio Central 3.1. I'm actually going to change the version number as well. I forgot to do that, but there is a feature request that I added, and I think it's quite a big change. So I will change that. But you can see these are how all our strategies are performing. So this is the main one, tracking it for over 2 years now, and yeah, it's just done absolutely beautifully. You can see the gap between us and the S&P is huge, like over 15%. And all the other ones, the 3 newer strategies, again, the sample size isn't as big, and even if you look here, the S&P was beating us for quite a while, so it takes time for the strategies to run. You can have a really bad start here, but yeah, once we see convergence after about a year is when we can actually start talking about those strategies. But on the refresh here, you'll see the new website basically. So first of all, we'll run you through the results that you already saw. So February, again, my strategy had a tiny increase, whereas the S&P actually dropped. So just improving that difference, which is just beautiful to see, over 17% difference now, which is more than the S&P returns on average in a year. So absolutely crazy. Then the dividend one, again, this one is stable. Tiny drops here, but again, this is what we're expecting to see from it, right? Stable returns, but still largely underperforming the S&P. Then the earnings one, this one, I know in the long run, it will be the S&P. It just had this sort of these lackluster 2 months, but you can see this is a really nice straight line and what you want to see from it. And I've been running this personally a bit more stringent, like a bit more like, I guess, rule-based than what I'm actually doing like algorithmically right now. This is just identifying all stocks. I apply a bit more filters my side, like discretionarily, I guess. But yeah, it's really good to see this straight line, and hopefully it continues. And maybe next month is when it will catch up the S&P, which is at 16% from June to January. And then the earnings reversal one, I mean, this one is not implemented correctly, like the literature suggests you should. Like, it should be only if it beats earnings and the stock goes down. So it's not implemented correctly. But I mean, that's beside the point, right? The framework is that I can always change it, right? And it's kind of expected that it's doing bad. I mean, right now we're just buying every stock that beats earnings, no matter what the price is telling us. So kind of a naive approach, I guess, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, going into the feature request. So this was, by the way, like you can connect with me through Instagram, through LinkedIn. You can comment on this video. And I think, yeah, if you put contact us here, that goes to my email. And that's how the feature was actually requested to me. So it's from a guy named Joe. And he wanted a sector added here. So this is updated every month, by the way. This is free for you guys, which let me just tell you what this is. That best stocks page is this. All of this for free, absolutely free from Zach's, my code. I run it every month, as I say. Sorry about that. And then I put everything here for free. Of course, I buy it before you guys normally, but this is on the weekend, so you guys can actually be faster to me than it. So, of course, there's a huge amount of stocks, right? You wouldn't be buying all this unless you know how to work with the API of Trading 212 or Interactive Brokers or whatever. But this is 800 stocks. And what the user requested is his idea was that, okay, this is really good. I know statistically these stocks will outperform the S&P, but I don't want to buy all these stocks, right? So I want to narrow it down, and this is what we've added now. We've added to the Zach's scraper. So let me just show you Zach's real quick. Yeah, let's just do Apple. What do you mean not valid? What the hell is going on with Zach's? Okay, Apple. So this is what the web page shows, and we scrape this automatically, basically. We've basically added this as a scraper, so the industry, I believe, or yes, this computer and technology, so this one. Yeah, not the industry, this is sector, I believe. So we scrape this from down here, and we've added that to our portfolio, so to the web page. So you can now filter by whatever stock you want. So for example, Joe, if he wanted to take some time to look because there's a lot of stocks, but if he thought for some reason that aerospace this month is going to outperform, he'd filter by aerospace. He'd look at, okay, these are all the aerospace stocks that my code identified will outperform the S&P, and then he can do further research on this. But instead of researching 800 stocks, he only needs to research 15. Now, of course, there's a big divergence of the whole point of this website, which is doing it data only, right? And that's what I do. I'm not going to be looking at filters, even me personally, but if you want to combine both, have the data-driven approach, and you also think that I don't know, construction is going to outperform, then this is perfect for you, and this is a huge improvement. So thanks to that feature request. And then the other thing to do is, let me just put all sectors back. Again, take some time to load because I think there's about 800 stocks identified per month. But then you can also order by, like everything else hasn't changed and they still work, but you can also order by sector and see everything. So you can see the auto ties, you can see like the different distributions between them, and again these combine with I don't know why yeah, that's weird. Do you see that glitch? But yeah, you can combine like all the filters together. Yeah, it's just a really nice feature request, and this has gone to other places as well. So I'll show you that after. But again, just showing you how to use the filters and everything. This EPS forecast at the top. But then if you, what the hell is Markel? I thought it was Marvel. But yeah, if you click on this stock, this is the best example as I do. Oh, it has news. Okay, interesting. But yeah, we just added sector here. So tiny update there. But the biggest update is adding sector to the best stocks page. That is revolutionary. You guys will be able to do so much with that. So yeah, big thank you for that subscriber request. I mean, I guess it is a subscriber request or feature request. And yeah, this page still works the same. You still get the news scraped. You can get, let's see if we can get a comment on upvote, because this is scraped directly from Trading 212. I don't think we'll get it because it's probably an unknown stock on Trading 212. I mean, oh yeah, so see, we get another, and then if anyone had commented, we would be able to see that. But yeah, that's the update. I mean, it may seem small on this page, but honestly, the potential of it on this page, and I saw it myself. I'm not a discretionary trader, but like, for example, when you see hedge funds buying healthcare in a specific month, if you combine the fact that my stocks outperform the S&P with a sector outperforming, if you pick the right one, that has potential to go crazy, honestly. So yeah, thanks for watching. That was the update, and yeah, I'll see you next month on March the 15th for the next update. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any feature requests, contact me through YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, or my email if you go on the website. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys.